Thanks. Good afternoon. I will start this story with two things. I think in the recent times, Punjab agriculture is facing two big problems. One is the stagnation, and that stagnation is in productivity and farm incomes. And the other one is the model which it followed of intensive use of land and resources. And that intensive use basically has led to the depletion of natural resources like water, soil health, and then very high use of inputs, which was basically the mantra for success story of Green Revolution in the beginning, but then we surpassed all those levels. So this overuse of inputs like fertilizers, chemicals, and water is actually leading to a lot of environmental losses as well in the form of the depletion of air quality and other things as well, like the residues in the crops. So these are two big challenges, I believe, which have to be really taken care of if we have to put Punjab on the sustainable pattern of growth. And there are options available for that will be, there is a lot which has been talked about the crop diversification, because the rice story started building slowly and slowly. Rice was not the native crop of the state. And if you see in 70s, only 300,000 hectare area was being grown under rice. But if you see now, it is 2.8 million hectare, which is huge. And all the panel, all the experts, right from the beginning of Johal Committee in 1985, and then again another Johal Committee in 2002, and then Kalkat Committee in 2005, and the recent draft agriculture policy, they have reiterated that the sustainable level of rice which can be sustained with the resources in Punjab is only 1.6 million hectare. So we find, they all agree that 1.2 million hectare of rice area is actually in excess to the resources. So they all recommended the diversification, but I will say when was the first Johal Committee, second Johal Committee, when the recommendations came, if you can explore the data, you will find that the area under rice actually increased rather than decreasing over the period of time. So in 1985, there was a Johal Committee report, and in 1986, the area under rice increased. In 2002, there was a Johal Committee report, and in 2003, the area under rice increased. And if you see the last 10 years, there is a lot of urbanization, real estate sector going on. I think Punjab has lost around 70,000 hectare to 1 lakh hectare under the urbanization. But the rice area increased from 2.7 million hectare to 2.8 million hectare, because it is most stable crop, I will say, under the given conditions of irrigations and input use. So a lot has to be done about diversification, because there is a lot of talk, but nothing has been achieved on that. And I think the reason is the policies. The free policy, basically, I will say, if you throw seed, means broadcasting the seed or throwing seed by any other method will almost yield the same kind of output. So I think people, they don't have any, the farmers don't have incentive to adopt the new technologies which are resource saving. And even the focus of the extension system has been on using more and more inputs and producing more and more output. So the focus has been on maximizing the output rather than optimizing the output. So I believe if we have to divert the area away from rice to other crops, we have to explore the risk and variability involved in those crops. I think it is the production risk and marketing risk which gets induced the moment a farmer decides diverting from rice to other crops. So we have explored the data, and the variability in production and productivity is not more than 5 to 6% in rice and wheat. But the moment a farmer decides to grow maize, it is almost 15 to 20%, and vegetables, it's even huge. And then comes the market risk. So probably, I think the biggest thing is if we have to work on the value chains. Strengthening the value chains for the alternative crops will basically be more attractive for the farmers to adopt these crops. And we, as a part of the Columbia Water Center, we are known here as Centers for International Projects Trust in Delhi. So we are trying to partner with some organizations there, Field Fresh and PepsiCo, and then establish the value chains for the alternative crops, which may be more attractive to the farmers and more remunerative. I think in this way, This is the way, if you see the data of the last 10 years, the productivity and the growth of agriculture sector in Punjab has actually slowed down. If you see the first 3 decades of Green Revolution, the growth in Punjab agriculture was almost the double the national average. But in the last decade, we have been half the national average. So in order to achieve that growth, I think we have to go for high value crops, but only by strengthening the value chains and other things. And then I think we should focus, there project first, and then direct seeding of rice as well, which the government is, pushing a lot in the coming times. And then laser leveler as well, which has already been, adopted by almost 2/3 of the farmers or 2/3 of the area in the state. So all these precision technologies, I will say most of them, like the tensiometers, the sensors, they have been more confined to the research plots or research laboratories. So our intention is, if we can develop the low-cost technologies, precision technologies for the farmers, which can be readily adopted, because it is the cost which is a major determinant of the adoption. So for example, in the last 5 years, 6 years working in Punjab, we have partnered with Indian organizations like Northeast Center for Technology Application and Reach, and an entrepreneur, which is a village shop. And we have brought down the cost of the digital moisture sensors from $150 to just $15. So that is, I think, something very attractive. We have to look at the technological options as well. And the third, very important, is the user behavior. Because whenever people throw a picture of Punjab farmers, it is a picture of a farmer who is very receptive, and I think who doesn't have any knowledge or adoption gaps. So we did a study, I did a survey of 2,000 farmers in Punjab, and we found that almost more than 70% of the farmers, they are not following the recommended practices by the Department of Agriculture and the university. So that adoption gap is on the higher side, means you can see the secondary data and you can find out that the average consumption of fertilizers and chemicals and water is more than what is recommended by these organizations. It shows that there is an adoption gap on the higher side. And I think then we have to look at the mindset of the extension system, because this extension system evolved in the times of the Green Revolution, when the success story started building on the way. There was a saying, "Dab ke va raj ke kha," means cultivate as intensively as possible, and then you can eat as much as possible. Means you can use more, and then you can produce more. I think that mindset has to be changed now, because the whole extension system is still, working in the same direction. I think at that time it was promotion of the new varieties and new technologies, which was almost one-time phenomenon in one production system, one production year or cycle. But in case of the resources like water and fertilizers and chemicals, farmer normally makes so many decisions. For example, in rice, he gives irrigations 35 to 40 number of times. So he makes 35 to 40 decisions. And all those decisions, there is a possibility there will be suboptimality. So an extension or agent has a challenge to reach the farmer, I don't know how physically or by other means, so that to push him to make those optimal decisions. So it is a big challenge, because over time, the extension system has actually deteriorated over time, because of the manpower and other resources. So we have to look at other options as well. Like as with the water center here, in what we are doing is we have built a web portal for the farmers in Punjabi, and then mobile applications through which a farmer can have just 2 touches and can reach the right kind of information. I think there is a need to integrate the market models with weather models, and then the optimal kind of production strategies to promote the sustainability and change the user behavior. Thanks.